Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do forearm flossing. I have my little 2-inch floss, rock floss here. So you can do this technique above the elbow, below the elbow, covering over the elbow. It really just depends on what your problem is. So let's say that we're working more on the elbow joint itself and doing a lot of joint mobilizations, then I would start at the bottom and then cross the elbow and come back down. If we're working more with the bicep muscle and its attachment here, then I would probably start near the crease of the elbow and wrap up and come down. If we're working more with the forearm muscles, then I would stick with keeping the floss below the elbow crease, and that way you can still move that joint so that you can go through the motions that were causing you problems before, but with the rock floss on, and hopefully you won't have the same pain. Alright, so let's say we're going to do the forearm muscles. So I'm going to get my rock floss, and first I'm just going to do it lightly, and I'm just going to crisscross over each other just to help anchor it down, so to kind of give me a place to work from so it's not flipping around. And then after that, you want to do about a 90% pull, so a really, really strong pull over the muscles that we're working on. So if we're working more on this extensor tendons or like the muscles on the outside of the elbow, then when I'm coming around there and I'm pulling, I'm gonna pull super duper tight, and then when I'm coming around the inside of my elbow, I'm gonna just sort of like lay it on top of the skin. And then when I wrap back over the same muscle, again, I'm gonna pull it really tight and bring it around, and then I'm gonna lightly bring it across the inside. Alright, so I'm going to show wrapping for the flexor tendon complex, so that's the inside of the elbow here. Alright, so I'm going to do the opposite, where I'm going to pull really tight as I come in, and then I'm just going to loosely drape it as I come around the outside. Okay, so pulling really tight, and then then I'm laying it on the outside. And then I'm pulling really tight, and I'm laying it down the outside. So I'm kind of going more like in a crisscross pattern, but I'm single arming it right now, so I'm just trying to get it on there, which if I need to crisscross it at first, I can always come back over that spot. The forearm's not like a super big area that you're working with, and the rock floss comes in like 7 feet long, so you'll have plenty of floss to work with. So if you need to crisscross it a few times to get it anchored, then that's fine. Alright, you could keep going all the way, you could just keep overlapping the area, or you can just sort of do like a loose wrap on the outside and then just tuck it in, so that way it stays put. Alright, so now that you have your rock floss on there, you want to, you could just start moving your arm, right? So I'm extending and flexing my wrist as I'm extending and flexing my elbow, and I feel all that pressure right there on the inside part of my forearm. The other option would be that you could do the motion that was painful. So let's say that you had pain doing kettlebell swings. You can either just pretend like you're doing the kettlebell motion. You can actually grab a weight and use a kettlebell and go through the kettlebell swing while you've got the rock floss on. Or let's say doing goblet squats where you have your wrist cocked back like that. You could just practice that motion right there. Or, again, you could grab your kettlebell or dumbbell and actually put some weight on it and hold it like that. If you're feeling really into it, you hold your weight and go ahead and do your goblet squats. Alright, so you really don't want to do that more than a minute or two at a time, because the rock floss is going to cut off the blood flow. If you have it on nice and tight, it will. So you want to take it off after a minute or two. If you start to get tingling or numbness into your hand and fingers, then just go ahead and take it off at that point, even if you're only like 10 seconds in. I've done that on my calf before, where I've wrapped it really, really tight, and then my whole foot cramps up and, and it starts feeling numb. You just go ahead and just take it off. And if you need to reset it back up, then it's good. Then when you take it off, shake your arm around a little bit. I like to go through those same motions that I did when I had the rock floss on, just to see if it feels any different. But again, just a minute or two at a time, and then take it right off, and then move it around and get that flow back into the area again. Okay?